Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to another Versus video with Brad Nelson and Brian Brown doing. Today is a very special day.
Is it?
It's not. It's just another run-of-the-mill day. Nothing exciting will happen in this video because of this exact day.
Yeah, this day will not influence the decisions we do or don't have the opportunity to make in this video.
Yes. This will be a very boring run-of-the-mill video.
Yeah, nothing
and
will happen.
They should not look for anything special or exciting at all.
Don't try to read into anything or expect us to try to trick you in any way because it won't happen.
Take everything we say with a grain of salt. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll take it with no grains of salt.
No grains of salt. Not one grain of salt.
Yeah, like pepper is fine.
Yeah.
But if you put a single grain of salt on there,
you will be disappointed.
Yeah, we will not.
Anyway, today we're going to be playing Temur Aggro versus Dragons. Now, this is a deck that I've been working on with Jerry Thompson ever since Sam wrote about it last week. 2 weeks ago? Last week? 2 weeks ago. That is the decision I'm going with.
Take that with a grain of salt.
Yes. and it's a pretty sweet one. Now, we're going to deck tech this one because it's cool, and I'm not going to deck tech BBDs because it's boring.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Take that with a grain of salt. Yeah. Take that with a grain of salt. Yeah.
All right, well, let's take a look at the deck.
All right.
So one of the things, like, we're spotlighting Kolagon's Monument, mostly because this is a very much like what Jerry played at Pro Tour Theresen did terrible with.
Yeah, I was actually
That's what you're thinking, yeah. And but one of the things that the deck has gotten is a much better, like, Air Force in Thunderbreak Regent, Stormbreath Dragon, and Dragon Lord Kolagon, but it also has Shock and Thoughtseize to go with these monuments. So this is like an acceleration turn. It helps you with your tap lands. But one of the cool things this deck has is it has a Wrath effect to keep all the dragons in play. So if you like tap out for a guy and they like progress their board position, you can just play this. Now this card is going to get awkward against other dragon decks.
Yeah.
But that's where we're hoping Ultimate Price, Hero's Downfall, and Follow Tongue Invocation will come in. Now, Follow Tongue Invocation seems like a unique card, but it's been playing out really well. We're not going to see it shine in this matchup, much like we're not going to see BBD's Roast shine in this matchup.
Yeah.
But these are removal spells that are proving to be pretty good, just for the fact that like the gaining 4 life thing is extremely relevant on this card. This might end up being the most powerful of these Dragon Charmed cards or whatever. I don't know what people are calling them, what the cycle's called. But anyway, the rest of the deck is Chandra's for card advantage, Haven of the Spirit Dragon for card advantage. Any deck that's trying to go long, this card's going to come into play later on in the game. And since this is the only utility land in the format, I feel like it's going to shine. Not like Mutavault, but very similar in the sense that other decks always will flood out a little bit more than the deck with a utility land, since I can just replace this with a threat.
Yeah, and in this deck, your mana requirements aren't that stringent, and it helps pay for your dragons, and if you have an Herb Organ play, you can use it to cast downfalls and stuff too. So
yeah, and then a couple of Read the Bones to go with our early removal and to get us to the late game. Run-of-the-mill, just black-red, boring deck. Like, I think it's a good deck. I think it could potentially be a good deck, but it's straightforward. Play dragons, kill things, draw some extra cards, try to stay ahead on the board, or just go for the throat with all your haste dragons. Because I do think that this guy is pretty good.
Yeah, it is.
Especially, it just can kill planeswalkers. What is it? Is it planeswalkers and creatures, right?
Yep.
So like we could see in this matchup being very awkward where you might just not have a spell you can cast.
Yeah, I might not. I mean, I don't have a lot of ways to kill it, and I might not be able to cast anything either. So
yeah, so like if I kill like all of your ways to deal haste damage, and I just have that in play, like now I never have to be afraid of that kind of stuff. But Crater's Claw is still an MVP.
I can still claw my way out, maybe.
Yeah, but yeah, let's take a look at the sideboard, and then we'll get to battle.
Take the sideboard with a grain of salt.
All right, so in the sideboard, if you have a tough time looking at the sideboard and being like, this looks weird, don't be alarmed. It's a 2-color sideboard.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like the normal 3 colors where it's like a lot of really cheap, efficient removal spells because they don't really exist. We already have them in the main deck.
Yeah.
What this deck does do is it's able to transition slightly in every matchup that you need it to. Where we have all this removal spells, we're going to need something to combat more controlling strategies, and that's just where Rabble Master shines. Like, it's an early card. We don't really care if they kill it because it's not part of our game plan, but it's just something that they always have to be worried about. Some people might also sideboard into way more control, and this card can just get under them. Very good card against control. Good on the play sometimes.
And they're going to be setting out stuff like Bile Blight. They're never going to bring in a Drown in Sorrow. Like,
Exactly, yeah. And so just boarding this guy in is going to be good. A couple extra duresses to be good on the draw against. We'll see it shine in this matchup because I just have to make sure that these like planeswalkers or counterspells don't get in my way. Some Kolaghan's Commands. Now, this is probably the most interesting card in the sideboard because we know why Anger's here. We know why another Read the Bones is here. We know why Outpost is here. There's just a generic card bench. But the reason we have Kolaghan's Command is mostly for Whip of Erebos, but it's also a card against like control where we can just make him discard and get back a guy. Against hyper-aggressive decks, we can kill and make him discard, which is like the best mode against hyper-aggressive decks, which just makes it a board in. But the reason that I want access to it is the first card that Black Red has gotten in a long time that's like not embarrassing that can kill Whip of Erebos.
Yeah.
So that's mostly why I have this card in here, because it does have good utility in other matchups. And then we have one Ugin just to be good against other mid-range decks like Whip decks or Obzon.
Yeah.
We're going to have a lot of card advantage. Games are going to go really long, and we're going to need a trump. But now the deck might want a second one because once you find it, you can also get it back with
Haven
of the Spirit Dragon, which I don't know what that's going to be like killing an Ugin after Ugin wipes a board and then getting Ugin back. And you don't have to do it right away. You just wait until they get a board position again. You're like, put it back in my hand, untap, kill your board position again. And I think that's just going to be phenomenal. But yeah, I mean, that's Black Red Dragons. It's pretty straightforward. It's very boring, much like this video is going to be.
It's black. It's red. They're dragons.
Get used to it.
It's salt.
Just
I'm just
subtlety.
saying. I'm just saying words.
Yeah.
I don't even know what I'm
No
doing.
grains of salt.
Yeah.
Not anymore. We
Not-
should have never even. I shouldn't have said it.
You should not have.
No.
Now I'm
Now
just gonna
it's
say it the entire video.
Yes, it's going to. It's going to be constant. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and let's go to sevens.